What's up guys, it's Compass coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to succeed in no lock-on. With the EPL season coming up, it is very important that you get your no lock-on game right, even if you're in another tier of EPL such as Triple P or Double P. All the no lock-on tips are going to help you succeed, especially with a lower lock-on. If you don't know what EPL is, I'm going to explain to you a little bit about it. It's something that happens in the Discord. If you have any more questions, of course the Discord and my Twitch is going to be down there in the description. Just feel free to join that Discord and ask some questions. And let's get into it. All I can speak about is Season 2 of EPL, but there is said to be some changes coming into Season 3. Some huge changes that we should be excited about, but at least last season there was 10 teams per tier. There was 3 tiers. There was EPL, Triple P, and Double P, based off the MLB major and minor league systems, of course. You can see the rules here. Of course, EPL played with no lock on, Triple P played with 1 lock on, Double P played with 2 lock on. And of course, there was a draft, so no player was used twice. There was a draft, so each player was on any individual team. There was 9 innings, and you played a 3-game series against each opponent in the league. If that sounds any interesting to you, you could join. The season is about to start pretty soon. Let's go over here. As you see, this was EPL last season. There was 9 weeks. You play every team once, and of course there is a playoffs, a play-in game between the 4th and the 5th seed, and a play-in where Zumikaku and the Hanu Shore, the North Shore Hanu, they actually won the EPL championship last year. Of course, these were the standings. You know, big stuff happens. There's a relegation playoffs. Bottom 2 people in the league, they actually drop down to the bottom league, and the top 2 people, the people that make the championship game, they actually move up if they are not already in EPL. I was actually in Triple P last season as the Space City Comets. As you could see here, there is my record, and I actually won the championship, so I am moving up to EPL. You will see some EPL content definitely in this season, be sure of that. But there should be a lot of changes, should be a very exciting season. Again, if you are in any way interested, have any questions to ask, please be sure to join the Discord down below and feel free to ask anyone. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more Power Pros content. I got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of fun stuff planned. And let's get into the tips. Before we get into all of our tips for today, I just wanted to go over a couple things that I miss. This league is unfortunately Switch only for right now. It is on WBSC, the $1 game. The draft is a serpentine draft, so if you do get the first pick, then you will get the 10th pick in the second round, and so on and so forth. And I think that's it. I also need to go into my team. There's a lot of different things that you need to learn about team building compared to Lock On 3. I would like to go over my team and share what my thought process was going into a lock-on 1 environment, which is super similar to a no lock-on environment. I have also played in several leagues with no lock-on, so I am an experienced no lock-on player. And let's just get into the team. Alright guys, so here was my team for Season 2 of Triple P. You were limited to 20 players, and there was actually no limitations on how many pitchers or how many fielders you can bring, so I decided to go with a 3-man rotation for the 3 games of the series and a 3-man bullpen. My starters were Pseudo, Unkai, and Majura, with Unkai being my main ace. Unkai is still super strong. All the dominant lock-on 3 characters are super strong. Of course, you can only have one of each player, so you do have to have some lower cost players, but they can come out to be some stars for you. For example, Pseudo is a super good no lock-on player just because of how fast she could throws. If you can use her E-control, that B heater, that 160 kilometers per hour, and plus that gyro ball, that ball comes in so fast, it's so hard to make good contact on. Of course, Octavia has Tyrant and a great fork ball that moves all around the zone unpredictably. You could just find a lot of value in lower tier pitchers that have nice like fastballs or a nice pitch or something, nice abilities. It's not like Lock on 3 where you are limited to, let's say, a Myojin, even though a Myojin is going to be super dominant on a no lock on. But you could be just as dominant with the Pseudo if you know what you're doing. And of course, my fielders, I did get some contact hitters. Contact hitting is super valuable on no lock on because of how hard it is to make contact. Those low contact players are super hard to use for me and take a whole lot of skill to use. Like Colberg was super valuable for me as a high contact hitter with that mid-A hit, plus a serviceable center fielder, actually. Pretty good left fielder or right fielder. But of course you gotta pick up some power in Regu. Of course hitting for power is still very good, but there is a lot more small ball. Of course Nekogami when it went over. Azuma was a nice almost B contact, A run speed. Nice stealer. Has that Glover ability that we went over. Of course I had Takeda coming off the bench as a rally pinch hitter. Kanehara was super huge for me. Satine was super huge. I actually had a setup going with Satine, and of course Aseki and Kamakari were my 2 second basemen. Let's go over the lineup real quick. Of course I started off the lineup with Kanehara. Nice setter, nice person to get on the bases nice and early on, has that B stealing and B runner. Of course following it up with Colberg, who had the menace. Super nice contact hitter, could hit for power if they needed to, but super nice contact hitter to keep Kanehara going across the bases, might get a double out of it. For the designated hitter, I had Kamakari here as a place hitter, but I did like to run Octavia. Let's go over to Octavia's stats real quick. Octavia had a very high contact and a pretty high power, decently fast, so definitely a nice DH option coming off the bench and a nice pinching option. Super high value and no lock on, could go very high in the draft, especially with hitting stats like that. So she was my DH, kept everyone moving. Oops, I'm sorry about that, guys. And then of course followed up by Regu. Nice menace hitter, had that going for Octavia too, and a nice power hitter. Once all those people got up on base, Regu was the one to send them home with either a home run or a nice contact hit. With the B hit and the almost B run speed, also a nice small ball option if I really needed to, although didn't have any small ball perks. Only has that slugger and that pull hit, which activate on a power hit, but still nice. Aseki was a very weird place in my lineup. He was there for basically being a nice defensive second baseman for as long as I needed him to. Of course, he almost has S hit, and he also has clinical and survivor, all these nice hitting badges. The thing is, he has the E run speed, so pretty much anytime I got a hit with him and it wasn't 2 outs or anything, I do like to put a pitch hitter in or a pinch runner in for him, and then get Kamakari over there at second base. Kamakari is almost as good, just slightly worse as a defender, but a lot faster, feel a lot more confident with them on the base paths. But I did start a Seki most of the time. It did depend a lot on mood. Ochai follows them in the 6th hole, another menace slugger. Could hit with clinical, only C hit, but did have clinical, so could contact hit and pinch, but mostly a slugging option. Led the team in home runs for me. Azuma, of course, we talked about earlier, nice shortstop with that Glover, nice fielding, nice speed, nice little arm. Of course, I had an A catcher, helped out my pitchers a lot, helped out their control and their stamina, but Suzumu Ikari can also hit with that clinical and that sprayer. If that meatball's coming down, they could also get that sprayer off, maybe hit a home run, but mostly contact hit option, also really fast and really good in the field, so just an ultra good catcher option. And Satine was my last option, my 9th hole. A clutch, so if someone was in scoring position, they were very good at hitting. I mostly got them to hit, and if they were in a good spot, let's say on first base with no outs or something, I would go and I would pinch hit for Black. Black was a nice option that I could put it in center field after I pinch ran for them, but of course they have that S speed with that B stealing, so just an ultra fast player, beast on the base pass. And of course they have all of those hitting abilities, so even though their hitting is quite low, they could still hit decently well if I need them to, if I pinch run them in pretty early. And of course with that B fielding and that S run speed, just an ultra good center field option. I could get Colberg out of that center field, and I could get someone with a lot more speed. Mizudori was a backup catcher for me with that B catcher. Also could play a little bit of that outfield, not too good, but could do it in a pinch. Nekogami, of course, I explained them in a previous video. Nice pinch runner option if Black was already out there. Takeda and Honda were both my pinch options. It gives me a pinch slugger and a pinch contact option off the bench. And I think that's it for my team. Alright, the first and most important tip that I have when batting on Lock on 3 is to pick a zone and use a traditional baseball rule. You want to try to sit on the fastball and you want to react to the off speeds. So you want to, let's say we're sitting on inside corner. We wait on that fastball. Unfortunately, that one gets caught right there. But of course, these top pitches are more likely to get through and drop. We see a splitter down there. We don't take it because that's not at the zone we're aiming at, especially early on in the count. Now that we're later in the count, we can expand our zone that we are waiting at. We get that fastball and it barely drops for us. Alright. Now you see that we have someone like Colberg that has B speed on that bag. This is a very powerful position because this gives us the opportunity to try to steal that second and try to put someone in an even more powerful position, which is runners in scoring position. So let's see. We could wait him out. Oh, I just immediately swung at that. That's what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be right there. He threw a kinda high fastball. I was aiming at the lower inside zone, and I went and I tried to chase it way early in the count. That's not what you want to do. You want to do something like that, something desperate like that, way later in the count. Early in the count, I wouldn't be swinging at pitches that are not what you want them to be. If they aren't exactly where you want them to be, or you're not confident that you could get there to the off speed, I just wouldn't swing at it. Now with someone like Rego, I would just sit somewhere and I would just wait. With the power swing, you just want it to come to you. See, look, you gotta be right on it on lock on, or no lock on, to get a home run. Even barely under. See, look, we're taking off with Colberg. If we could get a hit run there and send him to like third and put him in a super powerful position, that would be great. Oh no, that's worst case scenario. If you are hit and running, you better be careful to hit it up. If you hit it up and they catch it like that, it's just basically an automatic double play. You see, look, I'm gonna be trying to predict where the ball is gonna go, trying to sit on that fastball. Of course, knowing the strike zone is one of the most important parts of this. Oh, you see there? That cutter just dropped right out the zone. That's straight grounder right there. Alright, we got a car coming up. Them bloopers are your best friend. Stuff that outfield can't get to. Alright, now Satine. See, look, we get that steal. Put us in a powerful position, especially with someone that has clutch A. Now we want to pick our zone very carefully. React to that off speed. Let's see if that drops. Oh, Colberg's there. We want to pick that zone. We were just under that cutter. You see right there, if you go back and you watch that back, you'll see that cutter drop just below the middle of that PCI. You got to be so precise on no lock on to be able to get those hits. See, like that fastball on no lock on is very deadly. Let's just get back to what's his name, Rego. See, like it was barely there. Normally I would have taken off in that situation, but I want to show you Rego. Alright, with the power hitter, of course you're just sitting somewhere, not trying to make too many adjustments, unless it's like a slow hanging curveball or something. See, like, most likely I'm not going to be able to flick over there and get to that. Now later in the count, I do like to go to contact hit. It's too risky to go to a big swing this late in the count. Let's see if that lands. Oh, just foul. Oh, I took off too fast there. Normally stuff like that is good hit and run or sack fly material. You got to be able to get your runs in any way. Of course, you're just picking your zone still. That's pretty much all batting is, no luck on. Just picking your zones, picking up patterns, playing mind tricks with the pitcher. And that's the same thing you want to do as the pitcher. Pitching has a lot of similarities to no or lock on 3 pitching though. If you can pitch in lock on 3, you can pitch in what's it called? You can pitch in no lock on. See, look how I barely had to move there to get a big swing. You just want to be waiting on stuff like that. Just want to pick your zone here. See, look, I think he's gonna pitch high this time. Oh, straight over the plate. Alright, he's got a pattern of pitching low. Oh, something like that's just a bunt. Alright, that's everything that I really need to say about batting on no lock on. I think that the best way to show pitching and also more about batting on no lock on is to review some scrims. Thankfully, there has been some Discord members that have been scrimming me on no lock on. I would like to say thank you to everyone that has played me. I will say the name of everyone that I am playing at the beginning of each game. And just a huge shout out to everyone that played me and everyone that could give me this content and allowing me to work on this. Alright everyone, the first game we're going to be reviewing is one of 2 games against my boy Slimefall. Slimefall is a member of the EPL League. He is an EPL tier, so he does know how to play no lock on. He is no slouch. He also does stream at Slimefall TM. Make sure to go check him out there and give him a follow if you haven't already. He streams like almost every day that Power Pros content. And let's get into it. Alright, Thomas Burrow, a really fast base runner here. Starts off with a nice base hit. Right here. Oh, yeah, that's a bad mistake. That's a bad mistake right there. Alright, so when Thomas Burrow gets on base with a fast pitcher like Pseudo, I should be looking to throw fastballs, maybe look at some pickoff attempts, maybe throw off my rhythm, maybe even a waste pitch to try to get him stealing. What I shouldn't do is try to throw an off-ball pitch that will leave my catcher trying to throw him out off an off-speed. What I do is I throw a splitter, and of course Thomas Burrow steals off me. Of course, when I throw off speed, he steals off me. So that's just, you got to be more cautious. We'll see him being cautious later on. Alright, so he gets in scoring position in a dangerous place with the pink Izzyoi. He just smashes that. I take a bad angle with Colberg. Thomas Burrow is a fast runner. That's how he gets his first run. That's just bad defense. You can't do stuff like that. You saw there was no pinpoint. There are rumors that is gonna be area dropping. So I am practicing with area, although that hasn't been confirmed, so it could be pinpoint, but just make sure that your fielding is good on area. And you see here, you need to learn your strike zone very well to lay off these pitches. And of course, against a pitcher like Unkai, any of those fastball pitchers, you need to hop on any opportunity that you can. And of course, now we got a base runner on first. Got him playing very cautious, got him doing waste pitches, throwing free balls. Got him trying to pick us off because this is a very dangerous position. He does not want us hit and running. He does not want us trying to get on second. Of course, I try to steal there. Just a grounder, acts like a bunt there. Now with the Regu, I'm going to try to contact since one of my players is already in scoring position. It just doesn't pay off. I just am too far above it. And now you see me on the pitching end. I'm trying to throw that low ball. Of course, I make a mistake pitch right there. It's okay because it's not a meatball. And I'm just throwing too many low balls. Right now, I'm not mixing it up enough. I'm throwing too many low balls and I'm getting punished for it. Right there, I make him pay for it. I throw a splitter because I figure out that he's swinging at too many low balls. Of course, the mistake pitch right there, we can't be having stuff like that. And get him to chase on something on the outside. Alright, we recognize that he's waiting on these low pitches. So I throw that splitter, get that double play. Make him pay for waiting on those low pitches. Of course, we're making those mistakes earlier, but we make sure that we get those mistakes back. We make sure that we make those mistakes into more opportunities. Of course, this is what I'm talking about with my Aseki. He gets a base hit. I just immediately put a pinch runner on. Of course, we got Thomas Burrow weighing back up. Of course, we throw him a low ball. He's waiting on it. And we punish him. We punish him waiting on those low balls by making him chase on a one that's too low for him. Alright, here we got Ikari on base. We figure out his rhythm. Even though he wasted the pitch on us, we still steal on him because we got that perfect timing. Of course, it doesn't pay off, but I just want to show that figuring out their rhythm does pay off. And even if they try to waste pitch on you, if you can time that up perfectly and figure out their rhythm, you are going to get that steal. Of course, I try to throw that one low. Try to throw a hard sinker, try to get him to chase at that. And then right there, I throw a meatball. You've been seeing me throw the mistake pitches. They haven't led to anything like that, but that's why you don't want to throw those mistake pitches. Just one of them could lead to a meatball. And just like that, it turned from a 1-run game to a 3-run game. And now it's looking that much harder to get out of this deficit. We know that he's trying to play off that inside corner, so we get him to get jammed up. Get him to chase on that one. Alright, here we see him changing it up, giving Unkai a little bit of a rest. He thinks he's done for the day. I get a push hit right there because if you look back at it, let me put the rewind on it. If you see, I hit it with the end of my bat, creating that push hit, creating that bloop. We get Ragu on base. Of course, Hagane's a decent batter. Ragu's a decent base runner. Of course, he's still cautious of me because Ragu is a base runner. Could be cautious to steal. He wastes pitch right there, giving me a free ball. I hit that up the middle, and I recognize that Thomas Burrow has a weak arm, and I take the extra base on him up there. Now I'm finally in a space where I can maybe tie up the game. Oh, swing at that too early. I'm just gonna clinical hit here. Of course, he's still scared of Hagane. I could still steal with Hagane, but he just dots that up. I wasn't expecting that. Gets me looking. I steal with Hagane there. Catch him with the sneaky trick of trying to steal second, then stealing home. Steal a run off that with no base hitting. Get someone on second. Get nice contact off that, but Yabin Dayansu is just there. Suzumu Akari just doesn't get enough of that, and Uraga's there. Just not the opportunity we wanted. And unfortunately, Slime takes the dub. GG Slime, he took it 3-1, Unkai winning pitcher. Hopefully we showed a lot of great things, and let's move into game 2. Alright guys, the next game we are going to be reviewing is a game versus Serena. Serena is a runner-up in the Double P League and a former Triple P member. Or she is going to be in Triple P this year. A very skilled opponent, definitely not a slouch either. Thank you to her for playing me. And let's get into this matchup. Alright, right here we are going to start a pitch out on the outside, or right on the outside of the zone. Get it outside, get Vanguard to chase. Very nice pitch there. Now we're going to bring that strong curveball that Oni has. We're going to trick them into thinking that we are just pitching on the inside. And then we're going to move her PCI a lot by pitching to that inside or that outside corner. Get him swinging at that curveball down low. Now at this point, I've thrown so many curveballs that are balls that one, it's just too hard to get to and just jams her up. Of course, we start recognizing her patterns right now. She's getting kind of predictable. Nice little micro adjustment on that area, gets a big hit, just a little bit too late, but it does lead to a nice tag up, get us to third base. Alright, here we're in a nice position with Kanehara up on first, nice stealer. We jumped that pitch perfectly, and even against a strong arm like Kyushu, we still get the steal. Dot us up right there, but that's okay. We're still watching. Unfortunately, We did get it short, but with the juke that we just did, let me rewind that so y'all could see. If you look at the bottom right at Kanehara's base path, you see that I come back, and it does make Hebishima hesitate for a second. That's something very important to do. Here, I got the controls for that right here. If you want to return to the base, you want to press B, and you want to point your left stick to the base that you want to return to. If you want to go, you want to press Y, and you want to point the left stick that you want to go to. So for that situation, I pressed Y, pointed my left stick to third, and then I came back, pressed B, put that left stick up to return, and then pressed Y again and put that left stick to third base once I realized that she was actually going to throw to first and I could actually take that base. Alright, and you see I am power swinging with Regu, so I am just targeting a zone. I think that she is going to pitch to that top. Oh, if you look right there, I overcorrected too much. I was aiming just top left corner. Pitched it a little bit over. I overcorrected. That's one of the downsides of a thumb grip versus a claw grip holding. Now, most of y'all are wondering what even is a thumb grip and a claw grip. Well, I would say the most popular by far, the most used grip, the most comfortable grip is the thumb grip. Alright guys, so let's just say you are playing normally. This would be a thumb grip. This is how I imagine most of you play. This is how I play. It is not the most balanced way to play. It is not the most precise way to play, but it does help you. One of the pros is you do be able to snap to your target a lot faster. But what a lot of people do when they play no lock on is they play what is called a claw grip, where you use your index finger and your thumb above and underneath the controller, and you precisely move your stick around with two fingers, which allows for a much more precise way to move the controller, a much more precise way to get on your targets. Could be a lot better for big swing, but the real downside of it is a lot harder. Let's say you are aiming bottom left, you can't just flick over as easily to that top right, or else it is a very uncomfortable doing, and you pretty much have to use pretty much your index finger for it. Alright, getting back into the game. I hit a nice shoot ball. It was very high, so I was able to drop that nicely into the infield. And I run on the first pitch. The power of him run is very, very strong. As you can see here, I turn a simple base hit with black into a power position where I have Ray Gao in third, right about to score at home, and now I have black, a super fast person, on first base. Just a super powerful position to be in just because I took the risk and I hit and run. That's why hit and run is so essential and so great on no lock on. And of course I steal with black, beat out the throw with Kyushu. Of course they're scared of me running back and stealing home, so I got someone in second and third, two runners in scoring position. Of course not what we want to do, not what we want to swing at. Right here, I used Regu run-in. I used that trick I showed y'all earlier with Hebishima, or against Hebishima. See, look. I get the little grounder. Of course, and Azuma has to try to run to first base. We're going to take off with Regu, force the throw to home. If Hebishima does not throw to home, then Regu can just run and score pretty much for free. Of course, you want to deny that run. So we take that, we retreat, and that's a fielder's choice hit right there. Get our bases loaded. This is a super powerful position right here. We try to hit and run here. It is very scuffed. We should have 3 runs on the board right here, but unfortunately we only have a double and we can only put 2 runs up on the board, but it's still showing how dominant that hit and run is. Now if you're big swinging on no lock on, you pretty much want to just choose your place. Just pick a spot and micro adjust to any off speeds. You see right there, I'm aiming kinda at that bottom left corner. She throws it just a little bit too much. I micro adjust and get that home run. Just a great bomb. That just takes stuff like that, the micro adjusting, it just takes a lot of practice, a lot of time in the batting cages. Alright, you see there's someone on second, someone in runners in scoring position. We try hit and run, but there's just a ball. We miss it. We take a strike, and that just shows you the risk that you got to take whenever you're trying to hit and run, especially when you're running someone in from second, which is the riskiest and most rewarding position, since that is somewhere that you could get a runner into home pretty effectively. But of course, if we come back here, we decide to take off on this pitch, but the cutter is just too much on the outside. My options right now are to just take this ball and most likely take the out with Azuma, because stealing third is just not very likely against any catcher, much less Kyushu, who has a strong arm. Stealing second is something different. Stealing second is very much possible, but stealing third, pretty much have to just take the L on it. So either I could just swing on it, hope for a grounder that we could get to third and risk that strike being taken on the ball, or we could just take the ball and pretty much get Azuma out and try to turn around, maybe create a pickle for ourselves. Of course, I choose to swing and it still doesn't work out. Worst case scenario for me, we miss and we take the strike on the ball, and Azuma is thrown out at third. Just a huge bad play. And then right after, we get a nice bloop. Could have been something really special with Azuma. Just shows you how much risk goes into the hit and run play, but it can be so rewarding. And with runs not coming very easily and no lock on, it's just a risk I think that you have to take. Of course, we got Pseudo in there now. And of course, just like lock on 3, any pitch over the plate is going to be punished. It might not be a bomb like in lock on 3, but any pitch that you're just going to pitch straight over the plate is just going to be whacked. Alright, there's the final score of the scrim. GG to Serena. Thank you so much for playing me. And I hope that y'all learned a lot from that game, and let's move on to our next game. Alright, for our third game, we got a familiar face to Alaya, Frisk, known YouTuber in the community. Also, Triple P runner-up last season, moving up to EPL with me this year. Also, just a great opponent, always gives me fights. And we'll see how this goes. Let's review the gameplay. Someone like Daigo hitting against is just so difficult. As you can see, the ball just comes at you so fast. Right there, he calls this a broken bat. You just really have to pick your zones and jump on splitters, meatballs, all that type of stuff, because look at how fast that fastball is coming at you. It's very much reaction based, and he's going to be throwing a lot of those. Alright, you see here I throw a curveball above the zone. If you could pitch high in the zone, it could force a lot of fly balls. If you have a good outfield, it could be a very viable strategy, especially against the right team you're facing up against. Just throwing high balls just creates a lot of fly balls straight to the outfield. As you can see, I'm gonna sit here and set him up. Throw these low curveballs that are not even hitting the zone. Another ball. Then we dot him up in the middle of the zone. Keep him guessing. But we're gonna throw another one of those inside curveballs that doesn't make it into the zone. He's reading it really well, so we're just going to throw that outside curveball, something that he hasn't seen. Of course, he goes and he chases after it. It's just a good pitching sequence. You got to be looking for that. Try to throw stuff that they haven't seen in a while and see if they go swing at it. And you see here with Kanehara up to bat, he just has a huge PCI. And of course, a fielding error right there causes us to get extra bases. You got to always be careful about that. But Kanehara has a huge PCI that could just make up for any type of miscontact because of that S-contact, aim misplacement of that PCI. And if you do take the right angle and you do want to make one of these like rolling, diving type catches, all you have to do is you press Y. So if you're running up to it, you're taking the right base path. If you press Y, you will make one of these type catches. Of course, it doesn't work out for him right there because he doesn't take the right path, but you get a triple out of it. Very risky play, but if you can pull it off, it is quite a highlight play. And of course, right here, I am aiming high because I would expect that he would expect the bunt. He would expect something like a squeeze bunt. So like I would like take off with my runner and then I would try to bunt to squeeze in the runner. I think he was thinking that I was going to do something like that against Daigo since he's so hard to hit. So I just aimed that PCI up a little bit, creating that sac fly situation for Kanehara. Just a nice play. Always be thinking about that sac fly situation or any type of bunts that you could use to get your runner in, especially with only one out or even no outs. Don't try to do it with 2 outs, of course. You can't do that, but those are always viable options to get runs. Of course, someone like Toy on base is very dangerous. Of course, we throw a first pitch curveball. That was very risky in itself. Trying to throw those fastballs, make sure he doesn't steal. Trying to wait him out a little bit, keep our rhythm timed off. But of course, we're way behind in the count, so we gotta start throwing some strikes. I attempt to pick off here and then throw a curveball, which was my big mistake. Of course, he doesn't have the best jump, but it's Toy, so he has 99 speed, plus it's a curveball. Just not a good strategy for me, just should have been a lot more cautious. And then he's gonna hit and run, and he gets Toy on third. He just puts me in a bad position, but here I'm gonna start targeting the outsides. I want to make sure that he cannot get a hit off this, and I force him swing out a low curveball that gets him out. Shuts down the inning for us. So right here, bases are loaded. Of course, Daigo's a super hard pitcher to play against. So I'm thinking right here, maybe I should go for a sac play. I make sure that I get on top of that ball and I take everyone off. Sacrificing Ikari, but still getting that run in. Of course, we bring Satine up, and he gets a blooper right over his head, brings in a whole nother run. Just a nice inning for us. Just those rolls are what's gonna keep you alive in this game, and what's really gonna win you games. Just innings like that, just innings where you have a surge of offense. Of course, right here we're in a situation with Colberg in second. Nice scoring position with Octavia, nice bat up. We try to do a hit and run, but the ball is a ball. We could have just taken our walk. Lesson here is you do not have to swing at every single hit and run, especially in this type of situation where you're gonna get walked. Just take the walk. I swung at it, created a bad situation for myself. Now it's a full count. Thankfully, I got a bloop on it. And here's the final score to the scrim. GG to Frisk. Thank you so much for playing. Hopefully, y'all learned a lot from that one. Of course, Hagane, the winning pitcher. And let's move on to our next game. And for the last game we're going to review, we're going up against the man himself, USA qualifier winner and representative in the eBaseball series, Yabe Gaming. Of course, I went up against him in the USA final. He took me out 4-2. But we're going to be taking him on in a different type of matchup. I'm not sure if no lock-on's his thing. Of course, I get dominated by him on lock-on 3, but let's see how it goes. Alright, we decided to throw an ill-advised fastball inside corner where everyone loves to sit. A lot of people love to sit that that inside corner. Throwing that fastball there was just a bad mistake. He gets a bomb off the first at bat, and now we have to look at playing from behind. We have to look at playing more aggressively. It's just the type of mindset that you have to have whenever you go down, especially early in a game like this. Of course, we're going to put this cutter down below. That cutter just drops a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about that cutter. Where you see that I placed the cutter. Alright, so if you look, the strike zone is just fading out. What you could do to get a strike, what you should be doing to get a strike, is this blue little pixel right here. That's where the ball's gonna land. Of course, you're gonna hit it somewhere in the strike zone. If you want to make people think that what you're throwing is a strike and what it just isn't a strike, you got to make this ball that's in the middle that you're timing appear to be on the strike zone. So what I do is I put this cutter where it looks like a fastball that's hitting the black and is going to be a strike, but it's really a cutter, so it's just going to drop right under the zone. Of course it gets him swinging. Alright, Simon here, he decides to throw me a vertical slider. Unfortunately, I'm too under it. Cobra comes in, makes a diving catch. If you want to make a diving catch like that, press A. But if you looked at most of the circle, it was most likely going to land foul. I made the mistake of not returning my runners. If I wanted to, I could have returned Regal to second and tried to make a tag up and try to get to third, especially with Colberg laying on the ground. Probably was not going to make that throw. That's my mistake. You should always be looking for tag up options like that. So we got Satine here on first. Of course, we're going for my favorite thing ever, the hit and run. Always leads to someone on first getting on third. And now what we're going to do is just wait for it. That fastball comes by. If you see, I'm going to only steal Kanehara, he's going to throw, and then I'm going to come back and I'm stealing home. So how you're going to do that? Alright, to steal to second, obviously it is going to be up, the most up button, which is X. So just to steal him, you're going to want to flip your left stick up. If you look at my PCI, I do flick my left stick up. So you flick your left stick up to steal while you're stealing to keep Satine at bay. And as the catcher, if the catcher goes to go for a throwing motion to second, you're going to pause and you're going to press that Y and you're going to flick down like I explained earlier. To only take off with one base runner, you're going to press Y and flick down. So we'll go over that again. I steal, you saw that PCI go up, then I take off with Satine. And what's actually funny about this situation is if you go back to the USA final, Yabe pulled that exact same trick on me for his first run. So I definitely got him back right there, but it's just in a scrim, so it's not like it matters. He did it when it actually mattered. Alright, now we have a hit and run attempt from Kanehara and Kamakari. Right there, I was trying to make him throw it home, but I got stuck with Kanehara. If we go back, I definitely should have turned back around here maybe a little bit sooner. As soon as I saw him throw it home, I should have been way turning around. Just by the time I'm here turning around, it's just really too late and I give up a runner, unfortunately. Of course, I try and make the best of it I can, but it's just a pickle. And then I want to try to get another hidden runner, maybe a steal with Kamakari, so I'm thinking to try to jump Simon. But unfortunately, he waits right here. He waits up here pretty soon. And I just get caught trying to jump way too early. You always got to be careful on that. If they change up their rhythm and you get caught jumping, you're pretty much a fish out of water. Alright, so right here we got two runners in scoring position. We're gonna fake run them, so of course we send them back and we get a fielder's choice, leading us to full bases. Of course, I explained how to do that earlier. That's one of the biggest parts of no lock on, is how good your base running is. Base running really does rule. Of course, with one out, he should be targeting the double play, which would be a grounder play into the double play. So of course he's gonna try to target pretty low. If he is going high, he's going really high, so I can't get any type of bloops off. Of course I swing at it. That was really good by him. Nice job pitching low, forcing the grounder into the double play. Alright, so of course we got Colberg on first. So we are trying to target low, maybe a little bit outside. We just want a grounder to try to force a double play. Catch the strike zone on that one. Of course we don't want Colberg stealing, so a pickoff right there. He ain't expecting a high ball, so we dot him up, but of course we still want to stay targeting them low balls, and of course we hit him with his own medicine, force him with a double play. Alright, so Simon is going to start here for him. I smacked that shoot ball. Unfortunately, it's foul, but he's going to use that against me. He throws another one just a little bit too short, and I get jammed up and pop up, and just not a good at-bat for me. Alright, so we got someone on third. Of course, he hits me with my own medicine. He's going to take off to home and retreat back, getting psyche. Alright, just to call out the type of situation we're in, of course there's a slugger up to bat, and Shindo has Tyrant, which of course I explained in a previous video, lowers your contact. Of course we're in the bottom of the 9th inning, first batter up, tied. Now what I want to do is I want to walk off here. Of course with Ragu, my best hitter, I want to walk off. So what I want to do is I want to power swing. I want to sit in a specific area, and I want to make micro adjustments to any type of thing, and I especially want to hop on them off speeds. So of course that one's way out of where we wanted to swing at. Nice slider. That one's way out of where we want to swing at. We're looking for that bottom inside corner. That forkball's just a little bit too low for us. And right here, that juicy curveball, right where we wanted it to. You always want to wait for that pitch. And there's the final score for the scrim. GG to Yabe. Always a great time playing you. It was an amazing game, as you could see that walk off. Just make sure that you're always aiming to making micro adjustments, aiming to where they have been tending to pitch with that big swing, and make sure that you're swinging on time, or else it's just not going to go anywhere. Alright, I hope that those 4 games that we just went over, they helped a lot. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I can't wait for the EPL season. Can't wait for all the news that they're going to drop for us. As y'all know, my Twitch is going to be down there in the description, as well as the Discord, if you do want to join the league or ask any questions about it. And I'm Compass. See ya.